On Saturday, Bournemouth kicked off the Premier League Summer Series in style with a comprehensive 3-0 romp over Everton at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. After a tentative first half, while the second, it was sublime with goals from Phillip Billing, Dango Ouattara and also Adu-Adjei as well. The game was followed up with Manchester United's game against West Ham, where the Red Devils won 2-1. So what does that mean? We are top of the league. More of that, please. Hi, Tom.
Hey, mate, you all right?
Not too bad. Very good. Not saying we're fickle, but no. Do we need any more signings? I don't know. Maybe we've got enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, 10 more years, Phil. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's mad how it changes. But no, really nice to get off to a good start. And obviously we'll dive into it a little bit more. But I think, especially when you have, I know we've had a few warm-up games behind closed doors, but when you see it, I think you always look for different things, players playing in different positions, and then I always look at fitness levels, and the fact that we were the team in the second half that really exploded is a really positive thing, because it means that the fitness levels are quite good. And yeah, we've managed to have a few injuries already, but no, we're in a good place, mate. So yeah, lovely start.
Rebecca Lowe was with Robbie Earle on the coverage on Peacock and also Sky Sports, and I think the words were, I know it's pre-season, but that was a bit of a statement. How much can you really read into games like that? Because at the end of the day, I remember last season when we had our pre-season games in America and we had a fair few playing that didn't end up with us for the following season, so we can't really read too much into it. However, it is quite good to see that we've still got the same patterns of play. The players that we had playing for the first time looked very settled already, and that second half especially, I just thought was such a good performance.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. And like you say, all the patterns of play are still there, and yeah, you can't read too much into it. I think everyone, a bit tongue-in-cheek, but saying about players that we thought would go and then play well. Yeah. But this happened literally a year ago. We actually went to the States last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And I was looking back at the Arsenal game, which was the latter, and obviously Neto ended up going to Arsenal. He was in goal that day. I think Jaden Anthony played. Obviously Dom Solanke played, and you know, you're seeing all them at the obviously Fev and people like that, and we were seeing them at the training ground. They all looked happy, and there was no sign that any of them were leaving. It's just, you know, they've got to stay professional, and equally, if you do want to let anyone go, you want to show to a club that's potentially after them that they're fit, they're still playing, they're fine. So you can't read too much into it, but any positive display, mate, regardless whether they're staying, means okay, they can offer something, or we might be able to get a few quid. So happy days. And like you say, the way we're playing is good. I really like that even at this stage in that heat, the pressing was still there, especially in that second half.
Well, look, the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, that was the place that hosted the Club World Cup final. Next year, it's hosting the World Cup final as well, an 82,500 capacity. I think that Manchester United...
Is that bigger than Bill Foley's plans for us?
Maybe. I think Man United tweeted about it and said that the capacity for their game was one of the largest ever. So let's just assume that they were all there to watch Bournemouth as well. It didn't look like that. However, that would have been the largest ever attendance to have watched a Bournemouth win. I think previous to that is Old Trafford. So not bad.
And there's probably, you know, I can't even remember when this next game is because it's like 2 a.m. or something. Yeah. But, you know, that's a title clash. Man U Bournemouth, isn't it? So that's going to be sold out in there. That is, who's going to get their hands on that lovely trophy? Can we add another one? Betway Cup now? Oh,
let's do it. Look, stay tuned to Back of the Net, because we've got another video on the way that's going to tell you all about our plans this season with content and how you can get involved. And we really need you as supporters to be on the channel, but also if you're a local business as well, you can come and back us, be one of our business backers. We're so keen. We're approaching 21,000 subscribers already, so we're already got more subscribers than seats in our brand new stadium. So that's something, isn't it? But if you want to be part of that, or maybe, you know, benefit from our audience, then stay tuned. You can do a couple of things and then we can tell you when the next video's out.
Yeah, click the like and the bell. They're always good stuff. But if you click that big fat subscribe button, that helps us the most. So yeah, really appreciate you doing that. And yeah, you'll see there's so much content. I mean, we haven't even had a break, have we really?
No, we haven't. And look, we are a spiritual home of AFC Bournemouth supporters every single home match day. This is the Queen's Park, and this of course is our base once again this season, and we're doing some special things here. But for away fans, and you may have seen a little bit on this on our vlog at the weekend, we were at Q Sports in Boscombe, and we had a really good time there watching the game. And you know what? It wasn't just a good Saturday, Tom. It was a good Sunday as well, because the Lionesses did their job too.
Yeah, they did. It was a really good weekend of football. And yeah, in fact, well, I've said it to my mate, because obviously we've had a few yes, we've lost one as well, but of late, England, the men's team have won a few shootouts, which we never used to do, and now the women's team keep winning. Are we good at penalties now?
Well, you know what? I saw some stats somewhere that like, England were only ahead for like a couple of minutes in the whole of the knockout stage of the tournament or something.
Yeah, I think it's one of them where I've been saying it for a few years with the men, but we've never been able to go over the line. That tournament football is different. You don't need to be great. You need to get over the line. And I tell you what, did they do it? I mean, that gaffer, Serena, because she's won it 3 times now. Yeah. And every time, whatever the game state, she seems to make the right decisions every single time. And just tournament football, she knows what to do. Because I was thinking, I don't want penalties here. Yeah. We didn't look great in the last shootout, but so a lot of bottle there, a lot of good mixture of experience and youth. So yeah, it was really good fun. Really good to see him get over the line. I was cheering on James Wade in the darts after, so I was a little bit annoyed that Littler got the job done, but he wins everything anyway.
But I've got to say, Chloe Kelly's penalty technique is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It almost reminds me of Daniel LaRusso from The Karate Kid when he's going in for that final kick. What's that all about? But she got the job done.
The fact you say it's the weirdest thing when you've seen Dango Ouattara take penalties.
Okay, yeah.
Says a lot. So, Dango, Chloe Kelly, Antoine Semenyo, whatever penalty you want, put it in the net.
So we were sat at Q Sports and it was great to see so many people come down. We got some footage for those watching on YouTube. You can see some behind the scenes stuff, but I implore you to take a look at the vlog for a full view of what went on. But we weren't sure whether it was going to be the sort of 7:45 team news announcement or maybe 8 o'clock. It was an hour before and we had our first... So this is the first game that fans could go to, wasn't it? Obviously not in the UK. We've only got one of those.
The first one we can officially watch on telly even.
Yeah, of course. And there was the team then. And what did you think of the starting lineup? For those listening on the pod, I'm going to go from top to bottom. We had Petrovic, Truffert, Senesi, Brooks, Evanilson, Dango, Smith, Tavernier, Hill, Traore and Winterburn.
Yes. The first thing the first thing I wanted to look at was any new players that were playing, so I was pleased to see Petrovic and Truffert. It's a shame that Krupi's obviously got some sort of knock at the moment, but if he's got anything, even if it's just stiffness, you don't risk him in a game like this. But the first thing that was noticeable to me was, where's central midfield? Yeah. Because there's no natural central midfield player on the pitch. What I would say is I think, I've said it a few times, I think you and I both have, because he has trialled him there. I feel like he's trying to have a lot in there. And we know that Lewis Cook's obviously now got an injury as well as a suspension. Tyler Adams obviously in the Gold Cup right to the end. Christie's been carrying something. Scott played in the Euro, so I thought it's a good chance to trial things. I thought Billing might play. But I looked at the 3 and thought Winterburn, Tav, Traore, I haven't got a clue who's going to be deep in that. It obviously transpired, which we'll come on to, there was Traore was the deepest. But that 3 I was interested to see. Apart from that, I thought it looked a decent side. I looked at Everton's and thought, their first team. And then when I look back, I thought, I've not appreciated, to be fair to Everton, that there was no Tarkovsky or Branthwaite. So centre-backs, they weren't first team. But apart from that, they were strong. So I thought it'd be a difficult game. And I thought it depends how we cope in that midfield, because otherwise they might have a bit too much experience. Obviously, what transpired was we were bloody good in midfield and too good.
So let's just assume that Zamani's going to leave AFC Bournemouth for PSG. So I suppose what we're looking at this point in time would have been our first choice back 5.
Yes, well, he's obviously looked at Mepham in the behind closed doors game. He's obviously given Hill a chance this one. Them two are kind of rotating at the moment with Senesi, which says it all. Otherwise, Abba will be playing, wouldn't he? I know Akinbody has got a knock. He is over there, so he may have got a shout. But please see. I would have thought at the moment Truffert and Smith are the starting fullbacks, but I think you've got players that can push them. In reserve, in Soler, in Araujo, in Cook when he comes back at right back, in Hill can move across to right back. I think at the moment, if, like you said, if you assume Zabba was going, and just say that we had Liverpool tomorrow and we've got no new centre-backs in, because we will get centre-backs in, please. I think Hill's slightly ahead of Mepham.
He looked good.
I also felt like, I said this last season, I think both of them could have had a loan. Mepham and Hill, we had to pick which one. Yeah. And I think he wanted to look at Hill a bit more closely, and I think he probably thinks Hill's got a higher ceiling because of his age. I like Mepham, to be honest, but I said it to you on the reaction after. I do believe that if this was a new kid that we had just signed from abroad, people were going, wow.
Wasn't he good?
I just think that we have this thing of, it's just James Hill, he'll come in, do a job. I don't think he does much wrong at right back or at centre back. There was one moment where I think he was still kneeling, makes a hell of a block. Yeah. And I think with Senesi, with the way he plays, in terms of, I think he's really comfortable on the ball. He's involved in the first goal. He always is involved in goals from the start, isn't he? And I think we forgot about him because of how good Dino was. But I want like a bit more of a no nonsense next to him. Right. So Zamani's got a bit of that, but a bit of muscle, a bit of, because Senesi's a little bit more nice on the ball. Yeah. and I think Hill's got more of that than Mepham.
Okay,
so I'd be happy with Hill being, competing to try and get in there for sure.
So we know about Lewis Cook, and you'll have seen on social media during the last number of days that he has sustained an MCL. A lot of fans have forgotten that he was suspended for 2 games anyway. But the fact that AFC Bournemouth released this news, to me, indicates that maybe that means he's out for longer. Yeah. And we don't know what the severity is of his injury. We're looking at the sort of recovery times. Grade 2, which is, say, moderate, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to heal with treatment. So if it was grade 2, that might mean that maybe our 3rd or 4th game, he could be available. Grade 3 can take 6 weeks or more. So we don't know. But the fact that they put out a statement indicates that it's probably the longer end of it, maybe.
Well, it's weird because, like you say, you see all that and then you see that they've said he doesn't have to have surgery. He doesn't have to have anything. So you think, it's not that bad. But then why would you put a statement out? Because you haven't put a statement out about Cliver or Sinister.
No, that's right. And when's Christie back, for instance?
And also that Cook's already out for 2 games anyway.
Yeah.
My feeling is, and this is not knowing, but I understand everyone's looking at them sort of things of how long you're out for. That's recovery time. That's not playing football time.
Yeah.
So my fear is if it's a recovery time of 6 weeks, but he might need another month before we can play again.
And you did ask Marcus Senesi about the on the grass kind of statement, and
yes.
it always varies, doesn't it?
It does vary a lot. So that might just be when he can then, get out of a boot and start running. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, mate. But yeah, it's a real shame for him. He's probably last couple of seasons, he's actually kind of managed to stay clear of a lot of injuries where he had a tough start and he had a brilliant season. So yeah, shame for him. But I think we touched on it in the last one, but also mentioned it's nice to see that Enesu now is getting back ready and running and looking.
That picture of him. Oh my God. That needs an 18+ warning.
Do you know what I missed the most last season?
I'm biting my lip here. People can't see this who are watching the podcast, but wow, what a guy.
Last season, I miss Rob Edwards. I just missed it. Yeah. It's always nice to have a little bit of something nice to look at. I'll tell you what, get him in that squad. If he's not fit, just have him there. Have him in amongst it.
He's good for the dressing room.
If not, Love Island next year?
Why not? Put him on. All right, so you briefly mentioned about Everton's crisis. Maybe would you call it a crisis? Maybe, but yeah, central defensively, not too strong. But apart from that, I would say they were pretty good.
And what I would also say is that they've basically not got their 2 centre-halves. Well, the last time we played them, we had Zabadi and Housen.
Yeah.
So, but apart from that, pretty strong. I didn't know if I wanted to see Travers or not. Because I thought he's bound to have a worldie as one of them. Yeah. So I was surprised they didn't give him a half, but maybe they'll just play him in the next one.
He pulled off a good save at Blackburn, I think, in one of their friendlies that they had. They had a free kick and he pulled out a worldie of a save. So he's made a good start there by the sounds of it. But sorry, rudely interrupted you.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. I kind of wanted to see him and then I didn't. I would have liked him to have come on when it was 3-0. It didn't matter if he had a good game. But yeah, it was apart from whether they were going to go with the new lad, Barry, up front or Beto. They went with Beto. The main threat, I always think, and he was again, I say every time we play Everton and die.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't get the kind of... I don't know, no one really talks about him.
No.
And I mean, Everton are likely to stay that way. Yeah. But it feels like what we've had before with players. We think no one's getting linked. We had it for a while with Ake and then suddenly teams...
Yeah, true.
And I worry for Everton if they don't step up, because I think there was a few little dribbles he did that was sensational. Yeah. But we managed to keep him relatively quiet at least.
First chance to see the new kit in the flesh. I really like it, mate.
Yeah, I do like it. It is really nice. I think you can only do so much when you want to stay red and black, and I think we've delivered again.
And I actually like it with the sponsor, with BJ88.
Yeah.
No, I do. I actually think it looks quite good. But there are, of course, the unsponsored and Bournemouth University shirts available as well. But yeah, really like that. Now, what made me think that I think there's got to be a kit release soon, right, for the away kit. I mean, surely we need to, because Manchester United, when they played West Ham, they played in white.
White, wasn't it?
So surely they're going to play in red. We can't play red on red. I know there's a rumoured pink third kit or whatever, or maybe that's just the away kit, I don't know. But then this rumoured blue and black number, I don't know whether it'd be blue or black stripes. If it is, oh my God, I'm getting that. Oh my God. But surely maybe like Tuesday, Wednesday morning.
You would have thought so, like you say, just looking at the games, and then you'd also think from a kind of selling point of view, you'd think surely they've got it ready and it's out there on the States. Ready we know because we went out last year.
Oh, and,
when we went out last year, they obviously done the MBJ shirts.
Yeah.
And they were all there to buy.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense, and everyone was going and buying them. But, I mean, I didn't know they cost a fortune. But yeah, you can kind of get them when you're there. So yeah, I would have thought so. I reckon one of the kits should come out soon.
Hey, and Donny was also wearing some Umbro number. It was like a plain white tee with a massive Umbro logo of AFCB. I knew you was going to get into that. 55 quid?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, Andoni looked bloody good in it, but
yeah,
I think I ain't paid for this like 55 quid to look not as good as Andoni.
Yeah.
Top, but yeah, he looked good. And I'll tell you what, I saw his little thing before the game, and then I don't know if you noticed, I didn't notice at the time, but afterwards they do that half time, that little chat with him, and he says all the right things all the time. Because I was like, we weren't too bad, but he's still like we weren't quick enough. Like, calm down, Andoni's fine.
It's so funny. I was chatting to Jeff Barlow, that's Jeff with all the Z's on Twitter, and he came along on Saturday just for a nosy. No, he was awake for most of it. And I said to him about Andoni, like he's one of the sort of managers that we've had in a long time that says how I feel. Like I would watch a performance that I found really difficult to watch under, say, Gary O'Neill, and then he'd say things the full time like, what?
Yeah,
really?
You scratch your head a little bit.
Yeah, but Andoni says exactly how I feel. And you know what? A lot of people have been moaning about these kind of half-time interviews. This is what the Premier League are going to be interviewing.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Introducing. But they used to do it in the Champions League. When ITV had it, I remember Sir Alex Ferguson now, had a 20 minute, that would be too long, 20 seconds with Gabriel Clark, just for a little bit of a...
Yeah.
I'm not sure about interviewing players
I don't want
once they've been
players
subbed. I mean, although they did trial that with Marcus Tavernier, who got subbed against Southampton last season. He was on the bench and there was some guy sticking a microphone in his face.
The only reason,
does it?
It's hard enough for coaches, but I think players, a lot of things running high in the middle of the game, they could say something, and I don't think that's fair to put that on them, to be honest. But we'll see what happens.
Well, look, 20 seconds from Andoni at half time. I tell you who got more than 20 seconds. Steve Fletcher. He was on the TV coverage.
On his birthday as well.
On his birthday. How old is he? 21, 22? Something like
I guarantee he'll still be just as effective up top as well. Just absolute unit, isn't he? I'll tell you what, he looks sharp with his silver.
50? Is he 53?
He ain't that old, you dick.
No?
Is he?
I think he's 53.
He ain't 53. Is he 53?
I think he's 53.
I'm looking now because you'll have to cut this now.
But also, whilst you're looking it up, he also did a chat with the Newber Brewing Company as well. And we speak to Newber quite a bit, actually. Dave on Instagram, who's a follower of our Instagram account. And they do the Up the Cherries beer as well. Is it 53?
Yeah, you bang on. I was just being more complimentary. I did not think he was that old.
No, he doesn't look it.
No.
But Fletch did a fan event, which was like really, really good and a really good turnout. They did a bit of trivia, a bit of Q&A as well. And yeah, fair play to Dave, who put in a load of work to make that happen. Huge Cherries fans. We've got a number of pictures being shown if you're watching on YouTube. Right, I suppose we should get on to the match then. And can I level with you?
Go on.
Because it's the first sort of time that I've seen a lot of the people we watched Back of the Net and stuff, and didn't actually watch much of it. I was just like chatting away to loads of different people, and I was such a mingler, and I had some really, really nice chats with a load of people. And I sort of was glancing at the screen every so often, but I have seen a lot of it again. And I sort of said at the time that the first half was much of a muchness. There were a few moments. Ndiaye had an early shot wide. Traore had a crack from distance. I think Alcaraz had a long shot parried wide. I think out towards the end of the first half, Alcaraz slipped Beto through, and Petrovic, came out to meet him as well. But the first half, I thought it was a really good chance for us, just to get a first view of what's going on. And what I noticed was that defensively we seemed to be quite solid, and James Hill was a big part of that.
Yeah, a big part of that. And I think, like you mentioned earlier, with the patterns of play were there quite quickly. And I think I'd only touched upon it when we were just talking then about his half-time stuff, that we probably had more of the ball than we actually wanted. Because, we like them fast counters. So we were struggling then. They were quite deep, and we were struggling then to manoeuvre it, to get in behind. And people like, Brooksy, who I thought played well, but was coming in to get it a lot. And it was only really Dango that we were trying to send far. But yeah, I liked, I liked Petrovic making a few saves that you'd expect to make, but good saves.
Catching crosses.
Tell you what, I didn't know what that was when that happened.
Yeah.
What's this? No, nice to see him. I was glad that he got tested a little bit and had to make some good saves and catch some things, as you say. And then I wanted to see, as I mentioned, what that midfield three looked like. And I thought, blimey, I come up to you about a minute in, Hamid Traore is the deep player. What is this? And now I've realised that, what a player.
Well, that's the thing.
Listen, I think that we've seen him once. is he going to have the other side of the game, the kind of off the ball stuff, the kind of the strength, the intensity when it's in a competitive game in the Premier League? Who knows?
It's easier to look better when you're playing in a match where people are at 65% than when everyone's at 110.
But in terms of what he was asked to do, which was get the ball off the centre halves and try and start stuff, I felt like every attack kind of started from him picking up the ball and playing it around. So really pleased for him. Tav was doing a good job next to him, and then Winston off the ball pressing is just unbelievable, which is great to see for the whole coaching, that they're all kind of in that same jest, because obviously we'll talk about Adu-Adjei later, but I think I mentioned to you before the game that Johnny Suttle scored 2 and 2 for Walsall, and his goals are just from anticipation, from a high press, and it's nice to see that coaching going all the way through in regards to Winterburn. But yeah, it was a pretty comfy start. Like you said, they probably had the better chances, but we had more of the ball.
It was, for the heat, I mean, they had cooling breaks, but for the heat, I thought it was quite a, quite a good spectacle. I know nothing really happened of note. There's sort of chances, clear chances for either side, maybe, a couple per side, but it was quite intense, I thought. And it was, it seemed like a good, sort of run out. I thought, you mentioned Brooks.
Yeah, I thought he looked
Tavernier. Tav was a bit quiet. I felt, can't really remember much of him. But
yeah, I thought he was, like I say, obviously in that different role. I thought he was doing, I could tell he was doing what you want, of not as good, but what you want Christie to do. So he probably is the most like for like. Whether you think he's not as good a centre midfielder as, say, Alex Scott, but will he do the Christie role better? I think maybe. But yeah, I felt probably. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I thought Brooksy stood out with some nice touches. James Hill and Celeste's defensively, I thought were good as well.
But one of the maybe the poorest. I was going to say poorest, but maybe ineffective on the day was Evan Nilsson.
Yeah, he was kind of dropping off to try and get hold of it. He took a few whacks early. I remember thinking, God, get out. And I don't know if that affected him a little bit.
He could have been managing it.
But yeah, I felt that, he would probably say, or some people could easily say that we probably weren't providing him with enough. But yeah, it just wasn't quite falling for him in that opening period. But he improved slightly. But yeah, it was more of a game for defensively in that first half.
Right, so remember the date when you heard this statement. So this is going out on July the 28th, 2025. It's one of those kind of Michael Jackson, like Princess Diana things. You know where you were when you heard this. The match changed when Neto and Phillip Billing came on. Half time, the changes were made. No. Wow. So Ben Winterburn and, of course, Petrovic went off. And what happened?
I know it was probably not easy to hear it clearly, but I looked up and thought, oh, look, Billing's on. And they said, the commentary said David Brooks was off. It wasn't, it was Winterburn.
Yeah.
But there was a few people, I asked a few people that were watching it elsewhere from me, and they said, yeah, we were all confused because it said Brooks was off. But yeah, it was Winterburn off for Billing, which, was like for like in terms of their role. And then obviously you bring Neto on and he brings you that experience. I thought he was obviously good in the dressing room at half time.
Yeah, obviously.
So that got him on. No, but I think there's some teams like Everton there where you kind of play one goalie for a game and they'll play maybe Travers for 90 in the next. And then other teams do 45. Yeah. We obviously did that. I want to see Paulson, so hopefully I'm sure we'll see him for 45 at least in one of the other games. But yeah, goalie for goalie. And then Billing coming on. I was excited to see what Billing was about, the old blonde bombshell that is Phil Billing.
He looked a level above most other players on the pitch. He was quality.
That's what he does, isn't it?
And can we just talk about that goal? I mean, bloody hell. It was Traore that slipped him through. And
Celeste made the first pass.
That's
and then
right.
A little 1-2 with Traore. And
then a little 1-2 between Phil Billing's own feet.
Yes. And
before dispatching it so well with his right foot outside of the area. And Pickford had no chance at all. But what a goal that is.
I feel like...
I love Phillip Billing.
I think Phillip Billing is like that.
An enigma?
No, that X that you just always go back to. So like you think it's done now. It's like, I can't do it anymore. Like, we've had some great times. We've had some unbelievable times, some moments of passion that will never be topped.
Yeah.
But it's time to move on. And then 6 months later you go, she's good though, isn't she? She's lovely.
He can just do things that,
Yeah, and then you just go, actually, can we make it work?
Could we?
I'm not renewing my vows.
Stick that ring back on his finger.
As I mentioned right at the start, if he goes, because he still could go, this doesn't change anything. If he goes, one, that puts him in the window, and teams that will probably monitor him a little bit, and there will be a few, because they'll know that he hasn't been fancy since Andoni come in. We'll be able to see how bloody good he still is, and he's fit and he's ready to go. So that'll only help us. But if not, we know he can still offer something. We know he's got quality. It's just that is he Andoni style?
Well, that's the thing. Andoni was asked about him at full time and he said, I'm happy to have him back. He went on to say, even not playing a lot of minutes for Napoli, even from the bench, he was very important. Winning Serie A is a big achievement, even if you're not one of the starters. But sometimes it's not us pushing for a move. Sometimes it's the players that are not happy with their roles and they are the ones who want to try something else. So it is a question for him and more a decision from him and the club. So it is really all on him, but he was smiling though. Can we not read anything into that?
And he was at every goal he was there, smiling. I thought, oh, Phil, I've missed you. I've missed
Kiss
you.
the badge, Phil. Come on.
I love him. No, I've got a Denmark shirt on order. No, I think, listen, whatever happens, if he goes, I think, all joking aside, we will go some big moments. Probably Gary O'Neill's best player, by the way, in that season. We needed him to be brilliant in the champ for us as well. Brilliant player, go and play football, all the best. If he doesn't go, I'll go, we've got a good player in the squad. Yeah. So I think we're in a win-win with Phil. So, happy days. But what a strike. What a strike. And,
do you want to know my dedication to back of the net?
Go on.
I saw a comment, I can't remember if it was on Twitter or YouTube, right? And someone said, Billing always plays well when it's warm. So I went back and then through like the matches where he's scored, because it's so difficult to record individual games where he's brilliant. And I just thought, maybe I'll look at the temperature on that given day and see if there's any correlation. Maybe there is. That's all I'm saying.
When you said that, I was thinking of like some key goals. I was thinking,
Nottingham Forest was in the summer.
Of course. And do you remember when we come up under Parker?
Blackburn.
Of all them goals at the end, he scored.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Maybe that's a thing.
Right, keep him for the first bit, and then just before the window ends, he can go out on loan.
That Burnley wonder goal that saved Andoni's job pretty much, that was at the end of the summer, like October time. Still a nice day.
Yeah, so maybe
that's all we're saying. Maybe we can just, maybe Jim Favola, maybe whoever's listening, don't just put floodlights, put heaters.
Little heaters
on the pitch.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Keep him at Bournemouth. But look, I thought he was really good.
Yeah, no,
and that was in many ways a typical Phillip Billing goal, because he scored them at like Nottingham Forest a couple of times from outside the box. Yeah. In the same breath, Dango Ouattara's goal was very Dango-esque as well.
Most Dango goal I've ever seen. He was doing everything you want Dango to do. He was the one stretching him, as I mentioned in the first half, and I love that from Dango, and that's why he plays.
Yeah.
But then he was just letting himself down a little bit, wasn't he, with overthinking it, and then that one, I was like, he's in. Oh, he cocked it up, goal. Right. But I tell you what, good anticipation, to be fair. When it looked like he lost it, he smashed it in, and pleased for Dango as well, because he's one of them that's kind of like probably thinking, I'm a bit of a rotation-y. I come in, come out. I need to grab it. Yeah. And with Justin, with a knock, he obviously got the start as well. And I was really pleased for him as well. It's a good goal for him. And everyone, there is something now. Every time Dango scores, everyone seems to be like buzzing for him, all the players and stuff, which is really nice. But it was typical Dango goal. But I'd love to see it.
I was watching, as I always do. I even watched a few watch-alongs back, and there are a few Everton ones. There was a Bournemouth one as well. And I it's funny because when you're doing a watch-along, you always would tend to watch with the volume down.
Yeah.
And judging by his reaction, he's just slumps on the floor, so you don't know whether he scored or not. And the way the ball hit the net, you don't actually know whether it's gone in or not. But then he gets up.
Yeah, there was a few people that thought it was at the side net because he didn't celebrate at first, but he was obviously knackered.
We had the dulcet tones of Peter Drury on commentary, so we knew it was in. And what a strike from Dango Ouattara. And at that point, we made a few substitutions. So Daniel Adu-Adjei came on, as did Alex Scott, Zabani as well. He was given the armband once Adam Smith went off a bit later on, didn't he? Antoine Semenyo and Julio Soler as well. So Evan Nilsson, Troy Race, and Essie Ouattara and Truffert making way.
nice little bunch of subs. I think, once again, there's not really too much in this. But I've got a feeling that I can't confirm this.
Yeah.
But I thought, I've got a feeling that when we made a sub in America last year, because we went.
Yeah.
I think we've done it too much in this one. I think Solanke put the armband on for a bit.
Oh, okay.
In one of the games.
Oh, God.
But anyway, he come on, looked like a Rolls Royce, which was a little bit annoying, but no, I love Zaba, whatever happens. I liked the little cameo from Alex Scott in that role. He looked really nice in there, looks like a player that's obviously just won a trophy and is really happy.
Julio Soler also, I think, it's like we've got two left backs now. Well, obviously we did before, but we didn't know much about him. But from the brief glimpses I had of him, I wasn't sure whether he'd be up to the physicality. Again, it's hard to tell, it's pre-season.
Yeah.
But from the little moments I saw, I thought I was impressed.
I think both Truffert and Soler, without standing out and setting the world alight, both look very competent, both look very comfy, and both look like, oh, that could be a battler. I think Trofeo will be the leading man, but Soler looks like he's coming in to try and push him, and not just like maybe that alone, or he looks ready for it. And then I'll tell you what, Semenyo coming on, it's like he comes on, you think, wow, he just scares people.
So good on the ball.
So good. So that was, nice to see him. And then obviously a goal come.
Yeah, and the anticipation. I mean, if we're talking for archetypal goals, again, that was like such a poacher's goal. I mean, he can score all sorts of goals, but that one was absolutely superb. I think the pass back was very, very short from O'Brien, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he just snuck in there and just got a toe to go under Jordan Pickford and just kind of rolled in 3-0. Happy days, mate.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what level you're playing at. If you're a finisher and you're a striker like Adu-Adjei clearly is, as we've seen in all the development squads and stuff, that them sort of you will sniff it out, and that's a proper striker. So yeah, really, really pleased for him. And if he can get another goal in this summer series or whatever, or in another pre-season game, he's probably saying, you need to keep me here, especially at least until Unal's back fully fit. And he's probably only got this opportunity because Krupi's obviously, that probably would have been Krupi coming on. So fair play to him. And then I don't know if you're going to mention it, but the other development player that come on, Reece Dottin, nice little move, and he smashed one. It was a good save, but if he had finished that, it would have been the icing on the cake. But nice little cameo from him, because you kind of forget about him. But I think it was you and I watched a development game later in the season, and he stood out a bit from wide areas. And no, that was it. That's what I'm thinking of. When we went and met the players in the training complex, I asked the question about development players, and Brooksy that straight away went Remy Reece Dottin. Yeah. He's like the one to watch.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, really excited for him.
Yeah, Everton made a few changes as well, and we made a few more, like you say. So Araujo, Mepham, Fev, and Reece Dottin, as we just spoke about. So Brooksy, Tavernier, Hill, Smith making way. Now, what I liked about a few of those players I've just mentioned who came on, they were actually warming up behind the goal where Phil Bill, Ouattara and Dango Ouattara scored. So I liked watching their reactions more than anything as well. I love seeing that. But 3-0, comprehensive win for us. And I said it to you on the fan reaction. I said it on the vlog. All this just underlines that Andoni is absolutely bloody key for AFC Bournemouth. And it of course, it's a concern. Maybe we're worrying about stuff unnecessarily. Look, there's still a couple of weeks away, 2.5 weeks until the season starts. But it was in May last year where he committed to another year. We've not had that yet. I just would like to see it again.
I know, it does.
Maybe I'm wanting too much. I don't know.
I know, it's going to be difficult. I think this is what happens though, that we all said, I've probably only got it for another season. Now it's here, we're going, can we have him for a bit longer? I mean, listen, the player's got to go out there and perform, and I'm sure he'll repeat that. And the way they've implemented this style is, is credit to them as well as the coaches and staff. But it's little things. We've seen it. We don't need to go on about how many players have done it. But again, we get a game and suddenly you go, bloody hell, I've never seen Traore in that role. And now Tav suddenly looks like he can play another position. The way they're coached, it kind of feels like a lot of them players can play in so many roles because of the way they're coached. And he's brilliant. And again, all we heard about last season in the media was how Andoni subs changed games. It's happened in the first bloody friendly we've watched. Two of the subs scored. Do you know what I mean? It's just like unbelievable. And Neto got away with a howler, so he was an alright sub as well. So it was fine.
When you think about it, in terms of players like Traore, of course, Andoni came in. We only managed to have small glimpses of him, but then, of course, he contracted malaria, and then he got sent out. Maybe for financial reasons, went out on loan. Maybe, just maybe, over the last year, he's just managed to look at him thinking, actually, there is a way forward here for him.
I think there's got to be at least one of these players that I think will be given a bit of a crack. So I'm talking Hamid Traore, Phillip Billing, like getting another chance. Roman Fev, who could potentially start in the next game, obviously, because he scored in the first friendly against Hibs, I think. A few of them sort of players, if you like. Jefferson would have been another, but obviously he's gone out on loan. But them sort of players that are kind of on the fringe, you think loan, not loan, Mepham, you can include. At least one of them, I think, is going to potentially feel like a new signing to the squad. And at the moment, it's one game, but at the moment you're going, maybe it could be Traore, because we see him as a 10. I think when he's gone out on loan, he's played more of an 8. Right. And then he's just played in another role. So I just think for Andoni, that's a player that he can, why he loves Dango so much. Just put him in anywhere.
Just the versatility.
And if Hamid can be that more than, say, a Fev, then you're probably going to put your out on him. So, we'll wait and see. But that'd be good. The only disappointment, by the way, of the night was I checked and there was no El Marino.
No, that's terrible. What maybe they've ceased that sponsorship. I'm sure. No, come on. It's got to happen.
But I just want to say, that's 3 goals is good, but clean sheet. Always good.
Yeah, absolutely. So Manchester United away then in the next one. Will we do a watch party? No, it's too late, but we will do a reaction. However, there will be another watch party next Sunday. So check out the pinned reply or comment below on YouTube for all the details, but we have put it on our socials as well. And you're very welcome to be a big part of it. That's on the Sunday night at 7 p.m. So much more favourable.
Yes.
Children are welcome. So yeah, it should be a good old crack. But yeah, a positive pre-season for AFC Bournemouth so far then, mate.
Yeah, and last season was obviously our best ever season officially, and we didn't technically lose a game. I know we lost on penalties to Arsenal, it was a draw, and it was going to be penalties regardless. We didn't lose a game in pre-season last season, so let's do that again, please. I'm going to make a wild prediction in the summer series. We just won the first game 3-0.
Yeah.
We always beat Man U 3-0.
Right.
And then we're going to beat West Ham. We're going to win all 3 summer series games 3-0.
So does this count as a major trophy?
Absolutely. If we win it, it's a major trophy. Major trophy, and it'd be nice for the first team to do it since JT Ball. So,
love it, the Betway Cup, happy days. Well, look, stay tuned for more AFC Bournemouth content. You can do all those good things that Tom said, but until the next one, up those cherries.
Up the cherries. Top the league, baby. Top the league. I don't know what, I really think we're going to win them all 3-0. I don't know why. Why do I think that?
Take it.
Oh, God. 14th? No chance.
Back in the day!